Thank you for tuning in today. Joe and June talk about those.
Oh shit, let's go, bro. I'm ready. Let's do about 5 episodes this morning. I gotta get my coffee. I'm ready.
Yeah, I got about
Oh,
30, 45 minutes. So I got some. I thought we should start the first video, the first series to be about the foundation, because when you build a house, you need a foundation first, right?
right.
So I think today's subject should be foundation, and then maybe the green flags, the red flags, how to be how to be a better partner yourself, and then that's the type of people you're gonna attract, right?
Correct.
So I think that's a good foundation. Those three,
Yeah, let's start with that.
those four things, I think will lay enough material.
Okay, this is
for-
this is just a faceless podcast, or
Um,
do we use YouTube as well?
I think um, what else?
Because we can put the cameras on it.
Yeah, no, we don't have to put a camera. So what I was thinking, we record the audio and
Okay.
then have AI um put maybe
Oh, what you did last? What you did last time?
yeah, exactly, like have it create images, and stuff like that to for that, clips like B-roll and
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, that's nice. Let's do that. So we still have the space for the Dr. Joe and June's loneliness shit and all that. Yeah.
but yeah, so
Let's go. Let's go. I'm excited.
yeah, man, let's see what, because I have no idea what your perspective is, right? I know what mine is,
That's
where I stand.
that's the best.
That's the best.
That's the
So
best way.
I have no idea, because this is going to be a learning experience for myself as well, maybe for you.
Okay, stop.
Yeah,
Stop talking. Stop talking, bro. Because this is all good material what you're seeing right now. So stop talking.
I'm
Put this shit on. Let's go.
I'm recording already.
You're recording it already.
Yeah, that's why I'm talking like that.
It's dangerous, bro. Oh shit.
Yeah, you interrupted.
All right.
So cut.
So
Start.
I'm sorry.
No, we already.
You gotta let me know, man. You gotta give me the cue. Hey, we're recording.
I didn't let you know. So this yeah, I don't know what your perspective is. You have enough life experience, right? You're a little bit older than me, and you've been in the game for a while, and so
Still in the game, man. I'm still in the game.
you're still in the game. That's the thing. It never ends, right? It ends when
Yep, never ends.
when you're done. You always
Yep.
gotta take care of every relationship and the people around you, and it's all. I mean,
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know many people who want to be alone and die alone, right? It's not
Yeah, the most of them say it, but when it comes down to it, man, when it comes down to the last, it doesn't even have to be a terminal illness or whatever. It just has to be when you feel a certain way and there's no one to tell you that it's just a feeling. It's not reality. You get into this depression. There is going to be a tough way to get out of. It's going to be really, really tough because you're not really, your head is not there to make sure that you understand that this is just a feeling. It might change later.
Oh man, the loneliness epidemic is. I mean, a lot of people when they're young, when they're fit, when they're strong, when they're out, they think, oh, I don't need anybody. I can take care of myself, and that's true. You can take care of yourself, but it is always better to have somebody to go certain things with you, right? And then at the end, when the kids are gone, when everybody's gone, when maybe friends are gone, then you still got your family, right? That your partner, and that you can share your life with, and somebody give you feedback. If you're alone, and a lot of people end up alone at an old age, and it's just you and the TV and the cats and the dog or whatever, the fish, they're not gonna give you feedback.
Yeah, you and the fish. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, that's hilarious. Like, you understand, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This is my experience.
That's true though.
This got me thinking. I do on the side. I do a lot of deliveries to old people because they're not able to go to the store. They're sick, they're alone, and they don't have a lot of contact to people anymore. So they're just alone 24/7 pretty much, and they just
Yeah.
TV and that's it. And so whenever I come around, um, I'm like the only contact that they got. So they'll talk to me. They'll, oh, what's going on? They're so happy to see me, even if it's for just 5 minutes. They're so grateful just to have some human contact because they've been alone so long. They didn't. Maybe I mean I'm just assuming maybe they don't have a good relationship with their kids with family.
Yeah.
So that's also part of relationship, like how you a lot of it comes down to what how you act and how you act towards people, to want people to stick around. It's easy to
The
fight,
thing is that,
but
yeah, the thing is that a lot of people kind of mistake their success as a magnet to having people around. You understand?
yeah,
And that's the worst way you can go, because when people that are close to you that really cares for you find out that you just throw words around and go like, yeah, well, you know, I know you're only here because you're getting XYZ, or you're only here because you have you can flex about because you're with me or whatever, or
right,
hey, I gotta pay everything all the time. You know what I mean?
yep,
And when people really genuinely care for you, and you hurt them in that kind of way,
yeah,
and they leave,
yeah,
they're never coming back, regardless of what you want to pay.
exactly. It's true, man.
You know?
It's true.
Exactly. Yeah, because that's the thing. When you really have a certain amount of success, especially if you've been broke all your life,
Right.
you don't know how to balance reality to the other factor of life.
Yep.
And the most important thing that I've learned during my success was to even you know split it up.
Right.
Have the part of my core family friends that loved me when I was broke,
Right.
and everybody that's new get a certain limited amount of information. They even get a different first name, because only the one that knows me knows Joe.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Knows me. Everybody else can call me Papa Bear. Hey Papa Bear, hey Papa Bear. Yeah, I know. And when I hear that, I already know you don't know me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Smile for the camera, bro. No problem. You know?
So yeah, so
That's it.
today's subject is gonna be. I think we should start off as what we talked about already is the foundation of every relationship, your partnership, your friendship, your even with your kids, with family, with everybody. There's a certain
Right.
foundation that has to be solid. So, um, and what I was thinking, from my experience, um, that the foundation has to be based on truth. That has to be the foundation. The foundation you have to be raw. And so when you meet somebody, maybe you don't have to open up everything, but it has to be truthful. So whoever the person um, learns to know has to be the truthful you. I know everybody at the beginning, wants to show the best side of them and maybe over exaggerate certain traits or certain successes or certain stories or whatever. But I think, from my experience, that's the wrong way to go about it. Because then what it leads to, you paint a wrong image of yourself, and then they have wrong expectations. So maybe they choose to say, oh, okay, I want to get to know this person even more and more and more. And that learning to know or getting to know each other is not based, if it's not based on truth, you're laying a foundation on sinking sand. Because when the truth comes out, and it does come out, it's gonna destroy a lot of things. That's my experience.
Well, I guess we got to back it up a little bit.
Yeah.
We got to back it up a little bit. We got to peel off the onion. It starts with you. And by saying that, I'm going to be very specific. If you don't like yourself, right?
Yeah.
If you don't want to be, if you take yourself, you split yourself in two. and you don't want to be in the same room with a person like that. You have to work on yourself before trying to get in any kind of relationship.
Yeah, so that's the
Okay,
next part.
because
That's the
that's
how.
that's actually the first part.
Yeah,
That's the first part. Because you can't be truthful about the fake you. Because you're not truthful. The fake you is a fake you.
yeah.
And
So
unless you find a way to like you don't really be honest about who you are, what you bring, the good part of yourself. That once you have that, that's easier to be truthful about because then you're only going to talk about the good things about you. For instance, in my case, I'm a very good provider. I'm a giver. But I do understand that if you're a good giver, you have to work on receiving. So I'm very clear on how I want to be treated. So, and being that person, I can walk into a room and say, listen, I am actually a very good friend to have because I know what it is to be loyal. Even if sometimes being loyal means that I'm doing myself a disservice. But that's what loyalty would mean for me. You know what I mean? But for me to be loyal to you, you got to pay me with the same currency. You understand?
yeah,
So I'm not going to accept.
let's back
You
it
know what I
a
mean?
little. Yeah, I understand fully. Let's back it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So the
All right.
foundation, right? So I think you got
Right.
a really good point. So the how do you get there? So the part that has to be so now factual, just factual. The foundation has to be truth. It has to be based on truth. So whatever you're building, as soon as you get to know somebody and you're getting to know somebody, that you're laying a foundation, right? Every point of contact, every point of information, every point that you're showing how you from even from how you dress, how you present yourself, how you talk, how you everything. It has to be the real you. You don't have to present everything at the beginning,
Yeah.
but the point that
Exactly. Because yeah.
what you were getting to is the how do you get there. So the how you get there, I think that you said it really well, is if you're not truthful to yourself, I think I'm summarizing what you said. If you're not truthful to yourself and you're comfortable with the truth of yourself, you're not gonna, or who you really are, you're not gonna be able to be truthful to somebody else. Like if you're pretending, if you're lying to yourself about who you are and what your accomplishments are, and if you're over exaggerating them, and you're not, and you're fighting the reality of who you are, you're not gonna be able to build a solid foundation with anybody. So you're absolutely right. Before you even get to even build a foundation, a solid foundation with somebody, you have to have a solid you, like a solid truth
Yeah.
you. And that's
You.
absolutely true. I agree. That's a good point. So
Right.
we could go all and all about how you get there, right? But today we're just trying to cover the basics. Maybe I think in the next series we go into the how, but
Right.
now let's try to focus on the how what it is, what you need to build a solid or a good relationship, and how do you recognize that in yourself, and how do you recognize that in somebody else, that they have a
You.
solid truthful relationship with themselves even. So one thing,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry. No. No. I just wanted to elaborate. The thing is that everybody should find a formula that works for them. Obviously, I can talk about the formula. I took time to build that.
Right.
You know, I took the time to build a system that works for me. I think it works for everybody, right? But most people, either in a growing relationship or um, or in a family relationship, because the thing is, everything is a relationship, right? Everything is a relationship. That's what it starts with a relationship. If I like you, we hang some more. You're my boy, and then it grows, right? And when I use the word relationship, a lot of people mistake that sometimes as a sexual relationship,
Right.
right?
Right.
And that's not the only relationship there is.
Yeah.
You understand? And that's the same thing that I use.
Right.
Yes, exactly. The thing is that in my case, I use the word love as also something that's much broader than most people. Can I elaborate?
Yeah.
Now, I see, for instance, I see love as a milkshake. All right? Everybody has a favorite flavor of a milkshake, but orange can be made into a milkshake. Chocolate, you just name it, any kind of fruit, they're all milkshakes. But there's only one milkshake you would really enjoy because that's your favorite flavor, right? So let me back it up real quick, just to keep it short. The love you have for your dog is a different milkshake than the love you have for your child. Actually, going deeper, you have a different love for your daughter, you have a different love for your son, you have a different love for your firstborn, you have a different love for your mom, you have a different love for everybody. But there's only one person you prefer to sleep with, wake up in the morning, and look at her face or his face, and that is your favorite flavor. So if you go about that like that, you see that all of it is love. I mean, there's only I got for instance love for my wife, but I would say I wouldn't really jump off a bridge for her. I really love her though, but I would jump off a bridge for my kid.
Yeah, yeah.
See, that's totally different love. I would never sleep with my kid, but I would jump off the bridge for her
Yeah,
or him.
that's like that's the scalpless love that you know from a father.
Correct.
Um,
Correct.
so one thing that you mentioned was family. So what I was thinking was when I kind of backtrack even further and further and further, and where it really starts for each person, each one of us, where it really starts is going to be the relationship with the father and your mother, right? So, for instance, a lot of your for a girl, for a woman, her first male relationship is going to be with her father. So the father, and a lot of fathers don't even understand this, don't understand it, that they are going to lay the foundation for what the standard that they set for their daughter, how they treat their daughter, how they respect their daughter, how they protect their daughter, is going to set a certain standard that when they grow up, they're gonna, and then they go to maybe a boyfriend and then or husband, they're gonna have that standard. So I would say, because I also have a young daughter now, this is something I had to think about a lot. How do I go about this? And I came to that conclusion. I realized the way I treat my daughter with respect, with love, tell her, compliments, what I speak into her, the standard I set for her as a father in our relationship, checking up on her, making sure she's safe, um, leading her to good stuff, not letting her, even if she makes mistakes, talk about it, but always want the best for her. Setting a really, really high standard for her is going to turn into her not accepting certain behavior from men in the future, right? Because she's gonna think, well, this is weird. Why are you acting like this? This is not what I know, right? And so
Right.
we
Well,
is father play a major role in setting a standard that for a woman, even her self confidence comes from the relationship with her father.
well, this 100% true because my daughter's a little bit older. She's 24, and I was very meticulous about how to go about her. First of all, getting being born in the west of Europe, in the Netherlands, um, and still feel the proudness of being a black woman. Because when she was little, she didn't see the difference, and she had beautiful curly hair, but she wanted light, you know, light hair and straight hair, stuff like that, right? Because that was the form of beauty back in them days, blue eyes, right? Obviously you're in this classroom, and the pretty one that everybody talks about and wants to be a friend of is the one that's skinny, blonde hair, blue eyes, and everybody knows. Yes, so you come home, and you're sad because you don't have that. You're different, right? So she needed a lot of guidance from her dad. You know what the thing is? If we're gonna be totally honest about how to go about getting a confident daughter, there's no such thing. There's no such thing. There's no way to do it right. Because in my case, I've done what you done, or what you're doing. And in that case, you know what happens? Nobody measures.
Well,
Nobody measures.
well, let's be honest. That's a whole different discussion. That now
There you go.
that
Yeah,
men,
because that's the thing.
then a lot of men are just losers. I mean, we got to be honest about that. They act like straight losers. So when you, as a male who isn't, who has higher standards, and you're gonna be a gentleman, and you're unique in this environment where a lot of men don't measure up to that. But I would
Yeah.
still argue that it's the better way to go, because she's gonna choose somebody who's gonna respect her and love her like you did, and it's better than to wait a little bit, but to find the right one than to settle for less.
Oh, I agree 1,000%. I mean, there's no discussion about that. Obviously, um, the type of man that I am, and there we go back to the foundation. The type of man that I am, and I know what I bring as a man, and this what I bring has nothing to do with my financial status.
Right. That's exactly
You
right.
understand? Because that you have to take that off the table.
Yep.
Because any man can go out there and make money.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? That doesn't make you special. Just like any girl can go out there and put big titties, right?
That's true.
That doesn't make you special. You just paid for it, right? You know what I mean? And there's always shortcuts. You can go out and get thicker lips and BBLs and all this. All of that is visual. Who are you on the inside, right? So that same rule is for the man. So when I say you have to think about what you bring to the table as a man, we're talking about really, genuinely a good person. Do you go out of your way for someone else without it benefiting you at all? If you can't answer that question, work on it.
That's back to the selfless love, That's the genuine love. That's the kind of I would want the exact same. I mean, that's what I want for my daughter as well. A man who would give his life for her. Then I know she's gonna be safe. Um, yeah, that,
But
yeah. Go ahead, sir.
yeah, but yeah, no, that makes again total sense. But the thing is that we just have to be honest about sometimes that even that's not enough. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because in a relationship with a woman, we are oblivious to what a woman really wants because it's never one thing. It's never two things. It's never the same thing in the same hour. You understand? A woman is, in my opinion, a genius. Because they're able to do a lot of stuff at the same time. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Uh, a woman to me, any woman for that matter, is a genius. All right. I'm just gonna label them all geniuses. But at the same time, all the male geniuses I know are fucking out of their head. They're crazy. So you have to, you know. So if I'm going to go there and label all of you all geniuses, there's a certain amount of craziness that comes with it.
Oh,
Now,
so
so I'm gonna have to maneuver to the person that I call my partner to be just enough crazy that I can handle.
yeah,
Because I wouldn't want to live without a genius.
yeah, yeah. So, my question, what would you say when you've been around for a long time? You've been in and out of relationships. You know what it comes down to. What would you say are the, let's say, the top 5 things when a person presents these characteristics that this is a this is not going to be a good partner?
Okay, everybody's gonna look at the visual. All right,
Yeah,
the women and the
from
men.
the
All right.
no, we're
Okay, so
from just the straight.
now straight calculation. Now this is what is for me a deal breaker. Let's call it that.
All right, the red flags, how the modern. lingo with.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Now, first of all, your relationship with your siblings is very important.
Yeah.
Your relationship with your mom, your relationship with your dad. Because I didn't say your relationship with your parents. I said relationship with your mom and relationship with your dad. The thing is that um, if you put them together, it's going to be blurry. So it's better to make the all right.
Yeah.
That's very important because there's where, first of all, your basic understanding of communication comes from.
Yep.
See,
Yep.
that's just important. So that is something that's for me absolute. If I'm with a woman and she said, "Well, I don't ever talk to my mom. I don't, we've had a falling out. I never call her again." I already know that we're not gonna make it.
Yeah.
All right. If you're like, yeah, well, my dad left when I was young, and say, okay, so do you have a relationship with your dad now? Is he still alive, and do you know? Uh, and the question was, the answer should be like, well, yeah, I call him, we do some things, this and that, or whatever. I mean, you're a grown. I mean, in my case, my girlfriend, like my wife, is a grown woman, right? Her mom and dad separated when she was young. So what can we do, right? But she still has a relationship with both, even though the two of them don't get along or don't even talk. They haven't talked for 30 years. But she is a glue. Yeah, she's a glue between him and her mom. Her mom is her best friend, and her dad is, her dad. He's a mess, but he's still her dad, and she just respects him for being the person he is, even though he made a lot of mistakes in the past. So for me personally, to choose a right partner, I gotta look at your base. I gotta look at your base because there's the one saying, loyalty don't make sense when you're grown up. You have to learn this between 0 and 6 years old.
Yeah. 0 and 7, 6 and 7. So about that age, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Because then it makes sense, right? That's your foundation. That's if nobody taught you and just feed you and didn't teach you the basic human receptors are not really, you know, not working, you have to work on that by yourself, regardless of your sex.
Yep. Absolutely. So, what other characteristics would you say are absolutely, once you see him, you're like, oh, this is horrible. This is a no go.
Oh, ratchetness. You know, yeah, well, yeah. Let me put it like this: if you can hate, right? You're never gonna be out. You can't even be. Sorry, you can't even be a sexual partner because if you can hold hate in your heart, that you don't have, you're poisoned. You understand? You're poisoned because of things that happened to you in the past.
Right. Yeah.
You gotta start. That's the thing. Some people can hate. I can't.
Yeah, I understand. I agree. So what I've seen, if some things happen to women, for example, they get taken advantage of, they get abused, a lot of women self-abuse themselves. They don't even realize that they're self-abusing themselves, and then they carry a certain anger inside of them where every little thing triggers their ego. Like they view it as an attack. So, as a man, my way of loving a partner is by leading and correcting, right? So, just like I would correct my kids out of love, I would correct my partner out of love because I don't want her to go a certain direction, get hurt, or destroy the relationship. So it's a multi-level thing where I have to consider a lot of things uh, when certain behavior is shown, and I have to correct that to protect the relationship because I care about the relationship and I care about the woman. I don't want nothing happening to her. And then
Right.
there's certain damage that's been done. Any criticism, everything, any correction is viewed as personal criticism. But I only criticize the behavior, not the person. They
Yeah, well, that's
they
gonna be
can't
some skills.
yeah, they can't differentiate because they
Exactly.
it's a
It's an attack.
they're very egotistical. So for me,
Yeah, but it comes over as an attack as
yeah,
well. You know.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, the tone does not matter. I could even just write it per text in a very neutral way.
Yeah.
Her head is gonna play up as if I'm yelling it at her. So that's for me
Right.
also a big no-go. If I see that behavior, that is very defensive behavior, every little I can't even say a little thing without it being a complete attack against her, then I know, okay, some things happen in her past. She hasn't treated herself well. She hasn't been treated well.
Well,
She's poisonous.
look, I gotta help your way of thinking, or better yet, try and steer you in a different direction in that case. Okay, because I handle a lot with women, as you know, I'm a life coach, and the problem is not the fact that they take it as an insult or they take it a certain way. The problem is that they haven't been trained. Now, also to the ladies, the listeners at this point, I need you guys to bear with me for 1 second. Okay, just 1 second. Because when I start, you're not gonna like it, but when I continue, you're gonna understand where I'm coming from. The hierarchy for a man is clear, and it starts when we were little. If you're from Europe or you're from America, you've been doing sports from the school from the moment you get on the schoolyard. Okay. Now, sorry, a truck just passed, so I gotta be very good. So this is the thing: boys play with boys, and we're on the field playing either football, soccer, baseball, whatever. Okay, there's a hierarchy. There's a hierarchy. It's clear to us that the top scorer needs to get the ball so we can put it in the goal, right? It's clear to us that we got to get in the pitcher's head on the field so he throws a wrong ball because the strongest guy in the team can hit a home run and make us win. And when we win, all of us win. Okay? And these are all little things that are for men clear. If I'm on the bench and we're the world champion, we are the world champion, not the guy that's done up messy. Right. Everybody is the world champion. Correct? Right. Now, this is the difference. When you have a daughter, and you do have one, what do? You go out and you buy her dolls. Okay? And a doll isn't a team. It's not a team game. It's not something you can do with multiple people except one or two, right? So what do you have when I got the black doll? You got the blonde doll. I want to play with your blonde doll real quick. You don't want to play with the black doll. Now all of a sudden the game is over.
Right.
Okay, it's over. At that point, I just get up. I'm angry. I don't want to hear it, and I walk out. And I walk out, and that's it. So what do you get in your mind? You get a development that your way or the highway.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
And there's where it gets.
No team play.
There's no team play. Yeah. You understand? There's where you get you're setting your mind up to just go at everything that way. You know, yell, stomp, get emotional, cry, whatever it takes to get your way. Because I'm teaching you by giving you this doll, right? So, now I know you like black dolls. So what I'm gonna do with Christmas, I'm gonna get you a black doll. So now you have a white doll and a black doll. So now you're flexing your dolls, but you have your favorite. And if I want to use your favorite, again we have the same issue. You know? So it just keeps coming back. It just keeps coming back. The only women I've seen that could do both are the tomboys. Because they play football or soccer or whatever with the girls. The basketball player with the chicks, and just go on. All the women that does a lot of sports, they get a little bit of that hierarchy understanding.
Yeah, but I
You know,
think that's one part to it. The second part is gonna be um the relationship with her father, and if he held her accountable for bad behavior. if a woman
Right.
was not held accountable and never had to be held accountable and only got to live in her own reality, never had to be in the reality, that also
Right.
leads to her not having confidence because she can't trust her instincts anymore and the way she views the world. So it actually boils down to team player. That's absolutely true. And it boils down to confidence and to know truly who you are. So now we made a whole circle back, we circled back because if you don't have the confidence and if you don't live in truth of who you are, you will not be able to take criticism, right? Because if I criticize something, I say, hey, this is wrong, and you know who you are, I'm not criticizing everything about you because you don't, you know who you are, so you can take that
Well,
criticism and
well, that's a different. Look, this one thing we have to be clear about. Okay, everybody that's listening in, we got to be clear about something. We are all humans. Okay, we are all humans. So we all need blood pumping through our veins to be alive, or need all of that. We're humans. But don't mistake the fact that because we're human and uh, we are the same, we are not the same. And the worst thing is we can be influenced by whom that brought us up, or the environment that we got brought up in. You understand? Because what you're saying could make sense, but your experience obviously would be your sister that you've seen growing with you in the same household. All right, but uh, the confidence comes from how do you feel. Now, when you feel a certain way, right, you can be confident about how you feel. But if you're a machine that only thrives on feeling, that means every other minute you have a different feeling. Every other minute you have a different form of confidence. So there's no way that another person from the outside could tell you, hey, that behavior just now, yada yada yada, and you get into your feelings. You're not going to accept anybody's opinion.
yeah, that's true.
You understand? And that's the thing. A woman is driven and has been successful in her life in surviving by trusting her feelings. A man goes back, sit down, get his butt kicked by the world, and thinks, okay, maybe I gotta do something else. See, that's a whole different thing. We don't cry when shit don't work. We cry when we get emotional, obviously because we're humans. But we don't cry when things don't work. We just sit down and figure out something else to make that happen because the most of us real men, and because I don't know any non-real men, but most of our real men would is driven by success. Now, the success could be, listen, I need a liter of or a gallon of milk today, or else my kids won't have corn cakes tomorrow morning. Right? That coming home with a gallon of milk is a success at that point.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Right? Yeah. Coming home with a gallon of milk, and nobody cares where you got it, because in the morning we need it for the cornflakes. Right? so that's the thing. We're driven from a different perspective, from a different machine, and the woman is driven by a different machine. So we can't you can't just correct. Yeah, you can't correct a woman by saying, listen, this. It doesn't work like that at all. The only way you can correct anybody, I mean anybody, and this goes from woman to woman or from man to woman. The only way to correct somebody is by asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
Ask the question: do you feel that you handled that the right way?
Yeah.
See, you didn't correct that person. You gave him a time to reflect.
And
that's the way to go about it.
do you think that so for example, uh for me speaking, like
Right.
if I were to be out on the dating market again, even in my partner now, these are the things that I look to correct.
Uh-huh.
If if they blame everyone else, so they do something and they never take accountability and blame others. I mean, even though if it's clear it's their doing, but they blame somebody else. Um, that also. So, I mean, pretty much, I boiled everything down to if a woman, if I meet a woman and she displays low confidence, low self esteem, the low self esteem from out of that is where everything else grows. If a woman has low, or even a male, it doesn't matter. Anybody, whoever has low self esteem, they will be able to do the worst type of things that you don't want happening because they always have to do certain things to get the fix from the outside because they don't it doesn't come from the inside, you know.
Right.
For example,
Right.
a man or a woman with a low self-esteem, even though in a relationship, will go out and take every attention possible from seek attention from other people, which will come off even if the attention is not that they want a new partner or whatever, but it will make you as a partner look at that behavior and go, I mean, is there more to it? Because they're seeking attention from other people. That's just one
Right.
example. Low self esteem will have them on defense. You know, if they do something wrong, you confront them about it. You're like, hey, you did this. And they blame you for it. And they blame, oh, this person, that, uh, everything. They'll never take
All
accountability.
right.
So everything comes down to low self esteem. Out of that, everything grows. Even people who end up cheating, they do it because they have a low self-esteem and they're trying to get a fix from the outside, a kick from the outside that doesn't come from the inside, you know. Jealousy, a
A
toxic.
thousand, a 1,000%, true. But again, we gotta factor the fact in that um, if it's a feeling, it changes every second. Like
Yeah,
a woman
I
would
think
have.
I think
Look,
the
let me
self-esteem
explain.
is not a feeling. I think it's a
Well, it
it's
is, it is,
something
it is
deeper.
because the same. No, it's the same. Why they call it the same? The thing is this: a self-esteem thing is not something you can grab. You know, you can't grab self-esteem.
Yeah, it's a
You can't say now I'm
collective
confident, now I'm not confident, right? Because it's a feeling. It's just if it's a feeling, that's just what it is. All right.
yeah, it's a
Self-esteem comes from confidence.
yeah.
Confidence comes from feeling confident. Feeling confident is a feeling, right? So let's peel it off. That's what it is. Okay. Now this is the thing.
I was just trying to
You
make the point that the things that we got to look out for. Well,
well, no, I got
well,
you. I got you. I don't want to go. I don't want to go left on this one. But the thing is, though, we have to be absolutely clear, and we have to agree that when someone can't take responsibility, okay, or refuses to take responsibility, and you ask the question because that's how you find out if somebody have any type of human decency, right? You have to ask the question: do you feel that you went about that the right way?
right.
Yeah, well, since we walked in, the waiter looked at me strange. I said, okay, wait. You didn't answer my question.
Yeah.
Did you feel that you went about that situation in the right way? Yeah. Then boom, that's not your partner. That's
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Simple.
So
That's simple.
um, I'm more focused now on the factual things like oberflächlich, you know, like on the surface, um,
Right.
instead of the deeper hows and whys. So
Yes, very difficult to just narrow it down
it's
on
true,
a certain
absolutely,
platform.
absolutely.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
I think you would agree when you boil down to the one characteristic, like if you wanna, if anything, I mean, any person, if you want, if you're just getting to
Uh-huh.
know this person and they show signs of a very low self-esteem, that they don't think highly of themselves, um I think that's a big sign that that shows, okay, this is how this person is most likely going to handle these situations and how they're going to act to protect their ego, because someone with a low self-esteem is always gonna, they're gonna feel low. So any little thing extra, any extra weight that confirms to them that they have low self-esteem or that they're low is gonna be a lot of weight on them and they're gonna explode trying to protect their ego. For example, if they with somebody with low self-esteem, that's why they overreact when you try to correct a little thing, because to them it's like you're confirming, yes, they're low, they're bad. And then it's very difficult to have a relationship with someone with a low self-esteem. You know,
Well,
you
well, let
could
me.
have an ugly person, but have a really good character. I would still choose that person if they have a high self-esteem over someone that looks beautiful with a low self-esteem.
Look, look. What you're saying right now is there's a lot of variables. A lot. Okay. Uh, where do I step in? Um, who is ugly and who is beautiful? Right? It can be a. You know, that's one. Wait a minute. Let me finish. Let me finish here. 'Cause I'm gonna throw a curveball.
All right, let's see.
Um, the thing is this. For instance, I can get the best example I can give is my mom. She passed a couple of years ago, and she always used to hear from her mom that she was ugly.
Mhm.
Okay, she was ugly. She was fat. She was ugly. She was fat. She was ugly. She was fat, and that went because that's the thing. Just like marketing, it's repetitive. If it's repetitive,
Yeah.
you start believing it. See,
Yep.
your low self-esteem gets to come from somewhere.
Yep. It's from your environment, from the feedback you get from your environment.
It's what you get from the person you count on the most or you see the most,
I mean, even
right?
not just that.
Somebody start telling you if you're a young boy, like it's not a good experiment, but if you take your youngest son and start telling him he's stupid, right? Guess what? He's gonna have a low self-esteem. He's not gonna believe that he just right. So the self-esteem thing is your environment that that you first of all get. You start believing it, and you start uh, because your wiring comes from your environment, comes from what you get exposed to, right? If you get exposed to disrespect, you get exposed to all of these negative stuff. Obviously, you're going to be formed as a negative person,
Yeah.
which you can't do nothing about. Now, here we go.
I agree.
But hang on, there's a fix.
Okay.
This woman with a low self-esteem looks up to her man. Okay, looks up to her man. She's been hearing that she's ugly her whole life. So she keeps trying to do stuff to look better, to look good, or or start giving the sex without doing even asking for it, just because that's the one thing I need I can give to get my attention.
That's
All right,
another point. That's another point. But go ahead. Yeah.
hang on,
You got it on.
stay with me,
Yeah, yeah.
stay with me. But she has this guy she is totally crazy about. He's centered, he is educated, and he is kind of like, yo, listen, you're beautiful, and he just showers her with love, and guess what happens? She starts building a confidence. See, but the thing is this: we have to be careful with a certain way of thinking. A woman would love to have a millionaire as a boyfriend, as a man, because that's a finished product. We men want to have a woman that's pretty, visually, obviously, and with the self confidence. That's a finished product. You understand? If you're a certain age and you have the energy, and this woman is crazy about you, and you see something in her, you can flip that low confident person into a high confident partner, because that's what relationships about. Relationship is not about getting the right person that's ready to go shake and bake. The relationship is by building somebody.
I fully agree.
You know,
Fully
the relationship is by building with somebody, right? And getting the final product that fits you, because we're not gonna be young forever,
Absolutely.
right? We're gonna. You understand? If you look in the streets, you can see some fit dudes walking with a chubby chick, or you can see some skinny guy walking with this, or you see some beautiful women walking with some ugly dudes. Listen, we don't know what they went through. We just see in the visual of it and go like, what is this guy doing with her? Or what is this chick doing with him? Right? But the thing is, once you're together for a certain amount of time, your woman, your precious princess, becomes your partner. The visual aspect of that really deteriorates because you don't care as long as this person is sleeping next to you every night. You're happy
Yep. But
because she gets your humor.
here's my question.
Right.
You're absolutely right. There is a chance that you can take someone with low self-esteem and build them up. I don't dispute that. I've been through it. It can work, but it's gonna be a lot of work. Because at the beginning, when you start telling a person with low self esteem that thinks she's ugly, you're pretty, she's gonna fucking hate you because she thinks you're lying to her. Because she looks in the mirror
Right.
and sees I'm ugly because that's all she's been hearing from her parents or her father, for example. And you tell her, oh, you're beautiful and you're doing all these things, and everybody else before you was treating her like shit because she was only going after people because she had low self esteem with people who treated her like shit because that was her standard. And then she accepted that because of low self esteem. And then you come in, treat her really well, and tell her she's beautiful. And she's going to fucking hate you for that and despise you because she thinks you're absolutely lying to her. Why all these other men treated her like shit, used her, abused her, and confirmed to her that she is low, um, but you come in and you treat her well and tell her be. So my point is, yes, it can absolutely work. But the big but, if I had with my sons, for example, there's a lot of people out there. So from the beginning, there's a certain way somebody carries themselves with a low self-esteem. Like you said, a woman with a low self-esteem will advertise sex because it out. Look, I'm easy. Take me because she needs a quick fix because that's what she's got. That's the easiest thing. She thinks I'm ugly, but I can give sex. So there's certain things men with low self-esteem and women with low self-esteem advertise that you can kind of filter out without having to get to know them. But if you want we're talking about now in the absolute black or white best case scenario for my sons and my daughter, I would teach them um, go find someone with a higher self esteem from the beginning because it's easier to build. And the chances that that person will damage you is lower. Obviously, everybody, can, like you said, the feelings go up and down, but a sort of a base of a person, if it's higher self esteem, it's easier to work with that person because they're reciprocal and they have a certain standard for themselves, and then they're gonna expect that standard back from you. But
Okay. This is something that okay, out of my life experience, my life, that's not true because the example I gave was a real life experience. Real life
I
experience.
agree.
Hang on.
Absolutely agree. I
Hang on.
have
Hang on.
live experience.
Please, hang on.
I agree.
Hang on. Yeah, that's the life experience I'm telling you about is real life. My dad and my mom. That's their experience. My grandma used to call her ugly, this and that. My dad took her and treated her like a princess. He died after 15 years of marriage, and she never looked at another man after that. She passed 2 years ago at the age of 86. She never looked at another man the way she looked at my dad. Because the reason, hang on, wait. The reason, and that is something that is to get to that point, brother. This is the thing. My mom totally adored my dad. She has to look up to you. You can't be a simple dude who walks up to her and you're beautiful. Naturally, she's gonna hate you. You understand? That's different. It's different if she's looking up to you like a god because you are, right? You're a god. You went to the gym. You do all the things you think is necessary. She's looking at you like, oh my god, and you tell her to me. And the thing is this: you don't say you're beautiful. You have to compliment. I mean, I know a lot of guys out there that think they got game, but if you're using game to get in somebody's pants, good luck with that. If you're using game to get your partner, you need to go check yourself.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing. This is the thing. If it's a beautiful woman, she never gets complimented on her brain. She never gets complimented on her wisdom. She never gets complimented on anything except her looks. Okay? So, if it's Lester or a woman that doesn't know how to carry herself, but you do see the diamond in the rough, you start complimenting her with the super simple things. Like, hey, she crack a joke, she's funny. Oh my god, I never met a funny woman. See, those type of things is how you grow a relationship if you're looking for one.
Absolutely, I agree. But we gotta wrap it up here pretty soon. But I had one question to kind of maybe get a little bit clearer perspective on what you're saying because we do agree. I agree with you, but I think there's a certain border like where that does not work. Now let me give you an example.
Oh, yes, definitely.
So let me give you an example. Let me give you, so if there, like you said, a diamond in the rough, right?
Okay.
I think there's a certain age where that will not work anymore. If you take a young female and with a low self-esteem, but she has a lot of potential. She's still developing certain characteristics. I think then you can catch her and build her up. But I think if you take a woman that's maybe 30, even a man, 30, 35, and all their life they've had a low self esteem, they've lived like that, they've been through some rough stuff and experienced certain things, I think that's going to be a little bit more difficult than to build. So I think.
That's exactly the words you use. You use the exact perfect words. Look, my clients, that's what they come from. They are all grown. They're all successful in their own ways, but they are stuck.
Yeah.
Right? So, right, I'm not doing any adverts right now, but that's the type of people that challenges me. Now, this is the thing. This is the thing. If you're grown, right, and you're stuck in your certain ways, and you know that your way don't work, but you don't know what to do,
Yep.
you gotta subscribe to this podcast
Oh,
because we're gonna give you, we're gonna tell you what not to do, and whatever you want to do, you can do.
Yep.
All right, you can go ahead and do what you want to do. If you're female or male, if this is not a gender sensitive podcast, what it is though, what it is though, is to help you become the better form of yourself. And it means sometimes you have to peel away the onion. You know, you have to peel away the onion. It's gonna hurt because you're already too grown for us to buy you a doll or buy you a football and say go ahead and play with your friends. Because that's something that has to come from your base. That's not from us.
Yep. I agree. Absolutely. But I think to kind of wrap it up, um, I think in the next series, I think we need to go more into the how. You were touching some of that in these topics on the how and the why. But in the next one, we're gonna take these subjects and then, like you said, peel back the onion on the how and why, and give you some tools how to face certain things that are keeping you stuck. And
Yes, yes, definitely.
yeah, because there are ways out, even if you're grown, even at my age now. I'm still learning. I'm still peeling back on certain things, and I'm learning certain tools. Even criticism at some point for me was I was very defensive, but now
Right.
I absolutely love it because I learned, step by step. Oh, that actually helps me. I need this feedback because I want to be better. So, with my goal of being a better father, a better husband, a better person in society, I have to take in certain criticism and then check for myself. Okay, does this align with my goal? Yes, let's go. And that helps.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. So great discussion. Love your perspective. I got to learn a few things today and maybe not see things so black and white. And I hope you also learned a few things today. Or
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, there's a learning process in all of it. You know what I mean? But again, nobody has the formula to say, okay, do this and you'll get this result. Because we're all really, really different. We all bleed, but we're all really, really different. And a rewiring, you know, a mental, uh, how do you say, adjustment
right.
can make all the difference, and all of a sudden everything falls into place.
Yeah.
So God bless.
Yeah, absolutely.
My name is June Rollux. My name is June Rollux.
Dr. Joe.
And yes, Dr. Joe, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I'm gonna be your partner on this one because I really enjoyed it. And yes, people, I hope you all can get with us on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna we gonna go a bit harder next time. This is just the intro, the beginning, and yeah,
Yeah, that's the intro.
and have a blessed day.